Recording has started. So to start with, we want to create a folder. Then we are going to put everything we want to do in tonight's class inside that folder. So create a folder, new folder. Give it any name of your choice. Let's call it first class. First class. So we're going to put our code inside this first class.html. But then you need something called code editor. I'll close this. I want to assume that you just installed it. You need something called code editor to write codes. So open your code editor. Open your code editor. When you open it, I think you're going to see a blank page like this. A blank page. When you see the blank page, click on open. So select that folder that you just created. Mine is on desktop. First class. So this is first class. Then I will open it. I come here. Click on open, then select that folder that you just created. So I have opened the folder using VS Code. Any questions so far? Can we move on? Okay. So next is, after creating a folder, you want to create files inside this folder. So you can select the first one. The first one is to create file. The second one is to create another folder inside the present folder. For now, we are not going to be doing that. For now, we will only create files inside the folder. So let's create a file together. You can call this file any name of your choice, but it must end with .html. Remember, we want to write HTML codes. So give it any name, but make sure it ends with .html. So I can call it maybe taye.html. Just give it my name. So we have this taye.html. Next is, there are some compulsory codes in all HTML files. When you're writing HTML, there are some compulsory codes. And there is a shortcut to write those codes. The shortcut is press exclamation mark on your device. Exclamation mark. Then press enter to write this for you. I will explain what these codes, what they do. I'll explain some of them. But these codes, you need it in all your HTML files. Please, how many of us have downloaded the HTML textbook sent to the group? Probably have not sent. Yeah. So have you downloaded it? You can go to it in your layer. Or if after the class, I will also send it again to the group. So these lines of codes, they are compulsory lines of code that you're going to need for almost or for all projects, all HTML files that you'll be creating. So the shortcut is to make your work so easy. So we're going to be writing our codes inside this body tag, inside this body. But let's explain these things one after the other. The first line, we have doctype HTML. What this is going to do is telling HTML that the codes inside this file, they are HTML5 codes. We have different versions of HTML. So the present version, or the most recent version, is HTML5. So this first line tells the browser, because the code editor is to write codes, while the browser is to run those codes. Again, this code editor is to write codes. Then, when we are done writing the codes, we are going to run it on the browser. So the browser is to run the codes. And the browser needs to know the type of HTML codes you're about running, or you want to run on it. That's the essence of this first line. It tells the browser that when the browser sees this, it automatically knows that this is HTML5 codes, since we have different versions of HTML. Next is this. In HTML, we call some things opening tag and closing tags. Opening tag, closing tags. For now, I will remove this. We bring it back. When you want to write anything in HTML, you open it. Let's say I want to do anything. Let's say I want to use HTML to jump. So these are your write commands in HTML. You open it and you close it. Open it, close it. Again, open it, close it. So everything I want, wherever or whatever I want to force to obey this command will be within this opening and closing tag. So wherever or whatever I want to ensure obeys this command will be within this opening and closing tag. So that's what you're doing here. When you have, after the first line, you'll have every other quotes that you want to write every other word. You'll wrap it with this HTML. This is the beginning, this is the opening tag, and this is the closing tag. Opening tag, closing tag. This language is English. You're setting the language as English so that the browser will know that the codes here the codes here they are in English language. Even if it's removed, your code will still work fine. It will still work fine, but it's fine you leave it. So the codes here they are in English. Next is this. I'll remove this part for now. So inside the HTML tag, please, do you have any questions so far? Hope I'm not moving too fast. Is any questions so far? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Please, I have a question actually.
Okay.
It's not concerning what you've been teaching us. I just feel like as you are presenting, are we supposed to be doing what you are doing?
No. That's why
Okay.
the class is recorded. You don't
Okay.
need to.
No problem. Because I've not been doing it. I'm just listening and watching.
Okay.
It's fine. Okay.
So after practicing it, you can. If you have any question after practicing it, you can reach out to your instructor. He will help you out.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we have inside this. Oh, sorry. Let's mute our mic, please.
Don't stop. Like.
Okay, so inside this HTML tag, we have head and body. You segment it into head and body. So the head tag contains information about your page, while the body contains information on your page. Whatever you want to put on your page will be inside this body, and that's where most of your code will be inside this body. While this head contains information about the page. So inside it, we usually put what we call meta tags. Meta tags. All of these things gives the browser information about this page, and it helps the browser to present your page appropriately. This tells the browser the character sets to use. We have different character sets. By telling it this is the character sets to use. Then character set, all this is telling it that okay, most characters 1, 2, 3, they are under UTF-8. Like UTF-8 covers a lot of characters. So this allows you to be able to use virtually all characters in your codes. So this tells the browser the kind of character set to use. Then viewports. This one tells the browser how to present it. You don't need to worry yourself about this part for now. But just know that this part gives the browser information about your page, and it tells the browser how to present the content of your page. Next is this body. Like I said, information that will be on your page will be within this body tag. So whatever you put inside this body will be displayed on the browser. When you get to the browser, you will see it there. So let's put some things there. I can say, welcome to HTML class, and save it. So next is how do we run this on the browser? In order to run it on the browser, you need to first install something we call Live Server. Live Server. If you are using VS Code, you will need to first install Live Server to run codes on the browser. So to install it, you see extensions here. Under extensions, search for Live Server. Live Server. Then click on the one by the Litwick Day. Then install it. I already have it installed here. But if you are yet to install it, you will see install here. When you are done installing it, now you'll be able to run it on the browser. So when you click on Go Live, it will load it on the browser. To load it. So it's going to make use of your default browser. My default browser is Chrome. So we have it here. Oh. Okay, I think the default here is Safari. Okay. So it's going to make use of the browser of your device default browser. Any questions so far? Can we move on?
Yes.
Okay, let's move on. So you can add more codes to this place if you want to. So let's add more. Let's say someone wants to join. Let me quickly add on this person here. Okay, so I want to add more codes to this place. I want to say, let's say, I hope you understand what I am teaching. Okay, so save this. Go to the, immediately you save it. This is it. When you write any code, you save. Ctrl S. Immediately you save. When you go to your browser, you will see the results there. That's because the live server has the live server makes it possible for your code to automatically update itself. For the browser to automatically update itself. I come again. The live server is the one making this possible. When you save, the browser automatically updates itself. So we have this here on the browser. Let's move on. So I want to look at tags, different tags. It's a bad practice to write text directly inside the body like this. Most times you put them inside containers. So now the end of HTML is to build the structure of your page. You want to develop the structure of your page. CSS is to style it and make it beautiful. JavaScript is to add logic to it. In this first stage, you're going to be doing HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, and Git. So at least in this first stage, you're going to be able to create the structure of your page and you're going to style it and make it beautiful. In the next stage, which is stage 2, you're going to go into the logic and make your page intelligent. Like you're going to make it interactive and all of that. But in this first stage, you write the structure with HTML and you design it with CSS so that it can be fine and beautiful. So while creating the structure of your page, you don't just put the text directly here like this. You want to make everything well structured. So let's say you want to add headings. We have heading tags H1 to H6. The heading tags are H1 to H6. H1 is the most important heading. We use H1 for the most important heading in the application. So let's put the loading in the H1 tag. And I can say, maybe if my page is about, let's say books, then it will be inside the H1. Since the main content of my page is on books, like my page is particularly on books. So H1 contains the most important heading or the main heading of your page. When we get to the browser, you're going to see it there. Books. So H2 is for less important heading. It's important, but not as important as the H1. Less important. So let's say I want maybe books on let's say history books. So this is like subheading under H1. H2 is a subheading under H1. Then like I have another H2. Maybe this part is for animal books. So please ensure that your page only has one H1, because H1 is for the main and most important heading. It's not good that you use multiple H1, but your page can have multiple H2, H3, H4, H4, and the likes. But one H1, others can now be more than one. So this is subheading, and this is another subheading. Both of them are subheadings under this H1. Books, history books, animal books. You can see these ones are not as big as the H1. H2 is not as big as H1. H3 is a subheading under H2. So let's say under this history book, I want to create another subheading again. I can create H3 there under history book, maybe books on Nigeria or Nigeria books. Nigeria books or books on Nigeria history. Let's say Nigeria history. Let's create another H3. H3 Ghana history. So these are subheadings, like the H3, they are subheadings under H2. So let's go to the browser and see the results. Any questions so far?
Hi, I have a question.
Okay.
I want to ask, you see the space in between heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4?
Okay.
If you don't want that space there, can you use HTML or do you have to use style CSS?
CSS. You use CSS to handle that part.
You use style. Okay.
So as time goes on, the instructor will explain more on what's it called? On different types of elements, and we explain why we have the spaces there. But you can remove it if you want to when you get to CSS, if you don't want it to be like that. Okay, let's move on. Now, notice something. We have this H1 as the main heading. Under the H1, we have these two. That is history books and animal books. But the way it is now, it's not so, like it's somehow confusing. Like when you see the code, you may not know that these two, they are directly under the H1. You may think that all of this here, they are directly under the H1. I come again. Me seeing these codes now, one may think that everything here, they are directly under this H1. So it's better to indent your codes properly. What does that mean? When you have like an heading like this, like one heading like this, and you want to create something under that one, you indent it. It's just to make your code visible. It doesn't affect the browser, but just to make your code visible. What's it called? Clear and easy to read. So use tab. You can use tab to do it. So what you're saying now is, let me remove these two for now. What you're saying here is that these two, they are directly under these books. Let's bring this one back. So then these two, they are directly under this H2. So you indent them also. So me saying this now, you know that these books is the main heading. Under that, we have these two sub-headings. Then under these history books, we have these two sub-headings. This makes it easy for anybody reading your codes to easily understand this and know the structure. Okay, this is the main heading, then you have these two. Then under this one, you have this. Any question?
Please, I have a question.
Okay.
Okay, at a point you said you said automatically it's going to select our default browser. So I want to ask, should it be Chrome?
No, you can use
the browser.
You can use any Chrome and Firefox are called. You can almost any. I think Opera Mini on laptop is also fine. But I don't like phone Opera Mini, but I think on this system, Opera Mini on system is fine.
So we can use any browser. We are cool with any browser.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Except Internet Explorer.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so let's move on. We've looked at this H1. Please, it's good you indent your code appropriately, please. It makes it easy for, even when you are trying to fix codes, it also makes it easy for you to debug your code. If things aren't going the way they should, maybe you're trying to fix and to understand what's going on in your codes, it makes it easy, please. Write neat codes. Okay, let's move on. We've looked at the H1 to H6. Let's look at some other tags. Let's look at how to comment codes. Commenting codes is a way of telling the browser to ignore some codes. I come again. You want to comment codes, like you want to tell the browser to ignore some codes, that is not to display it. Normally, whatever you have inside this body will automatically be displayed on the browser. But sometimes you don't want that to happen. And I will discuss why you may not want that to happen. But let's first look at how to do that, then before we discuss why you may want the browser not to display some things. To comment anything, let's assume I want to comment this line. You just select the part you want to comment. On your keyboard, press Ctrl/ or Command/. Ctrl/. Immediately you do that, it will comment it for you. So if I go to the browser now, I won't see these books. I won't see it. So let's go to the browser and see. Books is not there. We only have others, but that books is not displayed on the browser. If I want to comment these last two, that is Ghana history and animal books, select all of them and press Command/, then save it, get to the browser, you won't see it there. So if you want to, that's the shortcut, but let's cite it in full. Maybe if you don't want to. So I think someone wants to join, please let me quickly admit this person here. Okay, let's move on. So next is, if I don't want to use the shortcut, maybe I want to go to the long process or anything. So go to the beginning of where you want to comment, press less than, exclamation mark, hyphen, remove this, hyphen, then go to where you want it to stop. Press hyphen, greater than. Wow, I think this is successful. Less than, exclamation mark, hyphen, go to the end and press hyphen, greater than. But the shortcut is just to highlight them and press Ctrl/. It will comment them for you. Any question on commenting before we discuss reason for commenting codes now?
So, how do we undo it, please?
The same thing, you select everything. Let's say I want to undo this. Select everything and press Ctrl// also. It's really
all right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Please, I didn't get that part. To undo.
Select it again and press the same thing you pressed to comment it.
Okay.
Hello, good evening, all. Hello, Mr. Taye.
Good evening, man.
Yeah, sorry, I joined a bit late. Do you mind if we just do a brief recap of, the Visual Studio Code?
Okay. Let's do that maybe in a minute. When you download VS Code, you install it.
Okay.
Come here, under extensions, search for Live Server. Then you install it. I've installed it already. The next is come here. Press exclamation mark and press enter. Exclamation mark, enter. Immediately you do that, it's going to present this set of codes to you. So you start writing your own codes inside the body. So whatever you write inside the body will be displayed on the browser. So if you want to display it on the browser, you're going to see something here called Go Live. Go Live. Mine is doing, okay, let me stop it. So if I go to the browser now, my code will no longer run. The browser will stop presenting. Okay, if I refresh, it's not presenting it. So go live, when you go live, it will be displayed on the browser. So we have this here now. Then we looked at different tags, H1 to H6. H1 is the most important tag. H2 is a subheading under H1. H3 is a subheading under H2. I think that's the sum. Then lastly, we looked at how to comment codes. That's where we are presently. How to tell the browser not to display some codes. To do that, you highlight wherever you want to comment and you press Ctrl/. So with that, the browser will not display those codes. For example, if I do that here, the browser will not display that part. So here's the result. So let's discuss.
Okay.
You're welcome. So let's discuss why you may want to comment codes. You see, most times when you are building an application, you won't be the only one, especially if it's a big app. You won't be the only one to work on it. You won't. There will be other developers collaborating with you on that project. And they may not understand the reason. Oh, please, let's mute our mic. So they may not understand the reason for doing some things. They may not understand it. So it's good you write brief description. The purpose of writing this brief description or brief maybe some text to explain the reason you did that or what is there is sorry, I need everybody to mute our mic. Where is the noise coming from? Please let everybody mute is our mic. Okay. So the reason you may want to comment it is because you want or add some text is because you want them to understand the reason you did that or what that part is meant for. So you add some text, but this text, the text you're about to add is not, or you're going to add, is not for the users of the application. The users of the application will see whatever is being displayed on the browser. That's what they are going to see. But the text you want to display or you want to add is not for the users. It's for fellow developers. It's for other people that are working with you on the projects to see. So you don't want it to be displayed here on the browser. That's why you comment codes. You just add, let's add some text and comment it out. So let's say, I want to say this is the book section. This is the book section. So I can comment this part out. So when other developers see this, they automatically know, oh, this is the book section. But that will not be displayed on the browser. So when I get to the browser, I'm not going to see it. And it's good that you comment your codes, like you add comments. The reason is sometimes you will write some codes and you won't even know the reason for doing that after many years. Like if you return to some codes, maybe after a year or two, you may not be able to recollect the reason for doing that. So when you read the comments, it automatically, like you remember, oh, this is the reason for doing this. This is why I added this. This is what this thing is doing, and all of that. So it's good you add appropriate comments. It makes it easy for you to go back to your codes, and it also makes it easy for code developers to work with you. They won't have problem working with you. Any question on that? So let's move on and look at some other tags together. We looked at the H1 to H6. We looked at how to comment codes. Other interesting tags that we're going to look at, let me remove all of this. Other interesting tags that you're going to be using in your application is you can use uppercase. Maybe you want to write H2O like this. So normally these two should be down, like it should be a subscript. So you can do it something like this. H, then that's 2. We now put inside a tag called sub for subscripts. 2O. Whatever is within this sub will be down. So H2O. So go to the browser and see the results. You can see H2O. So we also have superscripts. Maybe I want to write x square, so or s cube. I can use sup for superscript s cube. So this gives me x cube. Any questions so far? So we looked at this sub. We looked at this this subscript. This for superscript. Let's look at some other tags together. If you want to make text bold, if you want to make a text bold, you make use of this tongue tag. Now, this tongue is not primarily, okay, let me correct myself. It's not primarily to make text bold. I think it's better I iron that out. It's not primarily to make text bold. In fact, if you want to make a text bold, if all you just want to do is to make it bold, then you make use of CSS to do that. Remember, CSS is to style it. It's to style it. But this tongue tag, although it will make the text bold, but the primary purpose of this is to highlight or tell the browser that the text inside this place, they are important text. You use it for important things. Again, you use this tongue to tell the browser that the text here, they are important text. So let's say I want to put something important. Then you can put it, I can just do something important. So you can say it's bold. That's the result of this tongue tag. Now we got other tags together. We have the EM tag. This tag is to lay emphasis. Now, the difference between this tongue and this EM is that this tongue is to show something, to show that this thing is important. This EM is to stress a word. Yes, I can also say it is to show that something is, when you are stressing something, you are showing that it is important, but not as important as this tongue. Just look at it like that. You are stressing something, but not as important as this tongue. Maybe you want to create a warning, you use this tongue tag. Warning, don't click here, or don't use this thing at home, or don't give things to children, or something like that. Don't give this dog to children. You use this tongue tag. But when you want to emphasize something, this EM stands for emphasis. So you want to emphasize something, but not as important as this tongue tag, then you can put it here. One example I love using is this ShopRite slogan: lowest price you can trust always. So that always is being stressed. So you put it within the EM. Okay, so you can see, oh, that space, it's trust and always. Let's get a space there. So lowest price you can trust always. Question on everything we've discussed so far? Are we getting it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's look at some other tags. It is good you follow these rules, like this tag, use the right tag, because it helps search engines to indent our to scan to our page. Yes, to scan to our pages. It helps. And of course, for most, I think if you are building a website, you want search engines to be able to use your page effectively. It tests for SEO, search engine optimization. So you want all of those things. So it's good to use the right tags. Now let's look at the title tag. The title tag, I should have explained that earlier, is this part. So let's go to the browser. I'm coming. This part. You see this name. What you're going to see at the top here is the title tag. I will change this now. Oh, document wise. Oh, Safari is not making use of that. I will run the same thing on Google Chrome now. You understand what the title tag does? This document you have here, it fetches it from the title tag. So if I change this document to something else, whatever is here will be displayed on the browser. So I can call this, okay, let's say HTML class, something like this. So I'm going to the browser, we have HTML class. So that's the title tag. And it's very, very important. In fact, if there are two tags that I want you to take note of, the title tag and the h1 tag, please, those two tags are very, very important for search engines. Those two tags are very, very important for search engines. Search engines, primarily, they look for these two tags, the title tag and the h1 tag. It's going to use that to predict the content of your page. Search engines make use of the title tag and the h1 tag to predict the content of your page. That is why when you go to Google and you search for something, it's going to know what to give you the right page to display to you, because it's going to scan through those pages, making use of their title and their h1. Let's discuss the difference between the title tag and the h1 tag. So if I go to Google and I type, let's say, I type clothes. Okay, let's go down. And these are just images. Okay, good. Clothing. You see what you have there? It is the title tag. This here is the title tag of this page. This is the title tag of this page. This is the title tag of this page. This is the title tag of this page. You might be surprised that how is it the title tag of Wikipedia? You know, this is a Wikipedia page. Is it that Wikipedia creates a page for everything? No, they bind this dynamically. When you get to, I think, the third stage, you'll be able to do something like this. Or second page, even second stage, that's my second stage, you'll be able to do it. So it's not that they created this separate page for all of these things. No. But I just want us to know that whatever you have in the title tag will be displayed here when anybody searches for anything, or when you go to Google and search for anything, or any other search engine. The text you're going to see here is being fetched from the title tag, and that's, you can see how important that is. So let's open this one. Okay. There's no h1 tag here. There's none here. Let's open that of the Wikipedia. Okay. This here is the h1 tag. So it's a common practice for the h1 tag and the title tag to bear the same name, but it's not compulsory. It's a common practice. This here is the h1 tag. So this here is the h1 tag. So please note that the title tag and the h1 tag, they are tags that you don't joke with for any reason. Let's move on. Let's look at some other tags together. I hope I'm not. I hope we are not overwhelmed. I hope I'm not giving us too many things at once. In fact, we are going to round off soon. Questions so far. We've looked at sub. We've looked at super, subscript, superscript, strong, emphasize, the title tag, h1 to h6, how to comment. Okay, let's stop here today. So that it's not going to, I don't want to overload us. When our instructor comes around, he will teach us better than I've done, and he may even revisit some of these tags. Maybe he may revisit if needs be. If needs be, he will revisit some of these tags. Okay. Question as we round off.
Sorry, when we finish, please, can I share my screen with you, because I've just put that title and I've put in about myself, but then it's not doing it as yours. It's bringing it as probably like a heading or something like that.
Okay, you can share it. You can share it. Let me stop presenting so that you can share yours. And the reason I wanted to share it now is that anybody might have the same problem. So when you share your screen like that, they'll be able to, if I thought they encounter such problems at their own end, they'll be able to know how to go about it. You can share your screen.
Sorry, hold on. I think I've just locked off mine, so I'm just trying to go on it again. Yeah. I'm trying to join in.
Okay. Okay, don't let me delay others. Maybe after the meeting then. All right. Aloma, are you still with us?
I'm using my partner's one, but I've logged off mine. I'm trying to join in again, but it's not allowing me to join in.
What's going
So I
on?
think you need to do it on your side.
It's not displaying anything here. It's not. It's not. What's going on? I can't see any request here. Let me refresh. Maybe I'll see your request. Okay. Let's try to join again.
Mr. Tai,
Yes, ma'am.
hello?
I can hear you, ma'am.
Mr. Tai?
I can hear you. Please try to join again.
Yes. Honestly speaking, I'm just lost. I don't really understand anything. The whole terminology just seems so different. Just look very, very weird to me. But I don't really want to waste much people time. Maybe after the class, I will have to chat you up. I'm off tomorrow. I don't know if you're okay with it.
Okay, thank God the class is being recorded. You can go to the recording. So if you have any question after watching it,
Yeah,
let me know.
yes. I'll go through the recording and I'll also let you know as well.
All right.
Because I still don't really understand anything. I'm just lost, honestly speaking.
All right.
I'm lost.
No problem. All right. Thanks to everybody. Mrs. Zaji. Okay, maybe she's not here. Okay, thanks to everybody for coming. I appreciate us. I'll send the recordings to us tonight before going to bed so that you can watch it. And if you have any question after watching the recordings, please let me know. Or you can also chat up your instructor. First, as an instructor from our next class, if you don't want to take us. Thank you so much. Good night, everybody. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hello?
Hello, ma'am.
Sorry, can you see it now?
Yes, I can see your screen. You didn't close the link, line 6. There should be a greater than after line 6.
So what did you say?
At the end of line 6, put a greater than after the quotes, after the closing quote of the slide.
Okay, so
Save it. Put a greater than sign.
like this.
Yes, save it now. I want to.
Like this, right?
You can move the forward slash.
Remove the forward slash here.
Yes.
This one here.
Yes. Then put the greater than sign.
Greater than.
Yes.
Sorry, how do you do that, please?
Greater than that. The sign you just removed. Greater than.
This one.
No, this other one. Greater than.
This. Sorry. This one.
Yeah. Yes. Save it now. I want it on the browser. Open with live server.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, boss.
You're welcome, Sam.